I'm always delighted to be with Saul News, who's been such a leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for May 20th, 2022. An article from the New York Post reports, Trump-backed GOP candidate Ted Budd wins Senate primary in North Carolina. Representative Ted Budd emerged from a packed field on Tuesday to win North Carolina's Republican Senate primary, becoming a favorite to keep the seat in GOP hands after the looming retirement of Senator Richard Burr. Budd, a three-term member of Congress, bested former Governor Pat McCrory, Budd's former House colleague Mark Walker, and 11 other candidates to secure the nomination. Budd's primary victory marked another endorsement success for former President Donald Trump, who backed the lawmaker in June of last year after his daughter-in-law Laura Trump opted not to enter the race for herself. Saul Anuzis, president of 60 Plus, recognized Budd's victory by saying, "The American Association of Senior Citizens congratulates Congressman Budd on his primary victory. We are confident that he will be a senator who will continue to fight for senior citizens and protect Social Security and Medicare." An article from the Federalist states, 75% of Americans think the country under Biden is headed in the wrong direction. A large majority of Americans think the country is headed in the wrong direction, and much of their blame for the nation's woes rests on President Joe Biden and the worsening economic crisis. A new poll from NBC News found that 75% of U.S. adults think the nation is on the wrong track. That's the highest number of unsatisfied Americans since the nation's last notable recession in 2008. It's also up nearly 20 percentage points since this time last year and up 2 percentage points from January 2021 when Biden was inaugurated. Most of Americans' concerns can be traced to federal spending and lockdown-induced economic problems such as inflation and record-high gas prices, which recently reached a national average of $4.58 per gallon. And finally, the Daily Wire reports, Republicans have a massive turnout advantage in 2022 primaries so far. In Tuesday's primary elections in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Kentucky, Idaho, and Oregon, Republicans made up 54.9% of the total votes cast, according to the polling firm JMC Analytics. When factoring in the other 5 states that have already held primaries, Texas, Indiana, Ohio, Nebraska, and West Virginia, Republicans account for fully 60% of votes cast in the primary so far. News of a Republican turnout advantage is the latest warning sign for Democrats that a Republican red wave election is coming in November. An internal poll of highly competitive battleground districts conducted by the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee found that the generic Republican candidate is leading the generic Democrat candidate by an 8-point margin. This week, we'll let Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas have the last word.
One of the things I say in response to the media is when they talk about, or especially early on, about the way I did my job, I said, I will absolutely leave the court when I do my job as poorly as you do yours.
And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for May 20th, 2022. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.